Today we have for you 10 most dangerous holes on planet Earth. Get ready to be shocked because we're bringing in picks such as the ever-growing Bereziniki hole from Russia and the Sarisarinama from Venezuela, one of the most beautiful and dangerous sites on this planet. While they're all incredible in their own way, they pale in comparison to our top 3 picks of the day. So here we have our number 10, the Darvaza Crater. Situated in Turkmenistan, this is one of the most horrifying places to be in, and for good reason too. Let's just say it wasn't nicknamed the door to hell because it's pleasant surroundings, okay? What also sets it apart from other picks from our list, however, is the fact that this hole itself is not natural. It was actually formed by Soviet scientists as they were searching for natural gas fields in the area. As they continued to dig, however, the ground essentially broke underneath their own feet, causing everybody to sink all the way down to the bottom of the sinkhole. The methane gas that began coming out of the hole was so potent that in order to make sure that it doesn't escape, the scientists decided to set fire to it, which resulted in an ongoing fire that still goes on to this very day. Number 9. The Blue Hole of Dahab. Located in Egypt, the Blue Hole of Dahab is by far one of the most beautiful places on Earth. No one can argue against that. But we also can't dispute the fact that it's one of the most precarious places on Earth too, simply for the fact that it's way too disorienting and deep for any human to traverse safely through. Don't believe us? It's said that over a dozen experienced divers have tried to navigate through the tunnels, but none have been able to come out from the other side to this day. Some places are just not worth the risk, and this is definitely one of those places. Number 8. The Devils Sinkhole. With a name like that, it's no wonder that people have been trying to avoid it for the longest of time now. The reason as to why it's nicknamed the Devils Sinkhole in the first place, however, is quite interesting, as unlike the door to hell that we've mentioned before, this one's nickname is actually attributed to the findings from inside, as opposed to it literally being a pit of fire, as was the case for the other pick. Inside the Devil's Sinkhole, experts discovered hundreds of arrowheads that were apparently used by the Native Americans in ancient times. There's actually a lot of iconography on the walls everywhere that suggests that this was a holy place for them. Number 7. The Big Hole. Also known as the Kimberley Diamond Mine, this is by far the largest hand dug in the world. And the reason as to why the miners actually stop at 700 feet is because the whole site collapsed at one point, causing well over 7,853 people to be admitted to the nearby hospital. Although the site is a pretty popular touristic site nowadays, nobody is allowed to go all the way down to the 700 feet mark for obvious reasons. Number 6. The Bereziniki Sinkhole. This sinkhole is a tad bit different from the other sinkholes we mentioned before on this list, mainly because it is a hole that is still gradually becoming bigger and bigger with time. That's right, in Russia's Ural Mountains, there's a sinkhole that, ever since the 80s, has been continuously swallowing up more and more of its surroundings and expanding further and further with each passing day. This sinkhole is so dangerous, in fact, that it even caught the nearby city and caused it to collapse inside too. It is said that the reason as to why it sunk in the first place is that the city was built on a salt line, but that's still debatable to this day. What isn't debatable is the fact that this is still a shockingly dangerous site to be around. Number 5. The Chuquicamata Copper Mine, located in Chile. This massive copper mine is rather deep, to say the least, reaching a whopping 2,790 feet below the ground level. This makes it the largest copper mine in the world, and ever since it began collapsing on its own, it has literally taken countless miners' lives. Nobody knows exactly how many people have lost their lives here, but it is speculated that the numbers range around the dozens or so. Number 4. The Cairo Sarisarinama. While many have attempted to explore the site since the 1960s, not many have been able to actually get anywhere with their research because of how treacherous the site really is. It actually took almost 13 years for anyone to be able to reach the top of the plateau and descend into it, but even so, to this day, it is said that experts have no idea how deep the site really goes, and most importantly, what caused it in the first place. Number 3. The Bowling Green. Located in Kentucky, US, the Bowling Green site has been abandoned for quite some time now, simply because if anyone were to approach it, they'd be instantly swallowed up whole by the ground. The precariousness of this site is caused by the fact that the whole place is filled with underground sinks that are just waiting for any pressure to be put on the surface and allow them to manifest themselves. This is such a dangerous site, in fact, that it is also one of the only sinkholes on this list that has never really been investigated thoroughly, since no one can even get close to it to begin with. Number 2. The Mount Gambier. Similar to most of the other picks on this list, Mount Gambier is extremely beautiful to look at from a distance. It is essentially a whole town made up of volcanic craters and small to medium-sized sinkholes that are spread from one corner to the other. Similar to the Bowling Green, not many people can say they stepped foot in the Mount Gambier site and lived to tell the tale. While beautiful, it has also been known to take a lot of people's lives that have dared to venture around the site to snap pictures or even walk on the dangerous surface that could explode at any moment whatsoever. Not the smartest idea, to be honest. Number 1. Guatemala City. As they were just enjoying their time, the residents of Guatemala City couldn't help but notice that something was off about the ground that they were stepping on. Everything felt jittery, and they couldn't shake off the feeling that it was all about to blow every time they ran around the site. It didn't take long for their fears to come true, as the ground gave out right underneath their feet, taking many lives in the process. The whole city was swallowed up whole. And although many have made it out alive, it still remains by far one of the most dangerous holes on this planet because of how unstable it is to this very day. Would you visit one of these holes for $1 million? Tell us which of these holes you'd prefer to visit in the comment section down below. And make sure to click on the recommended videos on the left and right side of the screen if you want to binge through more of our awesome content. We'll catch you next time.